Jeff struggled on this climb and now he's completely stopped. Something is not quite right. It turns out he's on the point of throwing up. Never much fun with a helmet on.
Sorry, just gonna park.
Thankfully, it just turns out to be gas, and a few burps later, he's feeling fine. Recently, we have been on a few rides with guys quite new to slow technical riding. And on a hill like this, they are constantly using big handfuls of throttle and dropping the clutch, especially when they slow down or actually stop on an obstacle. In most cases, you are much better off using low revs, slipping the clutch gently, aim for constant momentum. Is there a tree root you need to get over? Watch how Jeff stands up to weight the rear wheel, then throws his body forward to get over it. No useless wheel spin, no digging holes. As Graham Jarvis says, if you want to learn to ride fast, first learn to ride slow. Get your techniques right, then dial in the speed later. A few steep descents. These are driving me crazy lately.
Hey?
Did you see my back wheel come up?
Oh yeah, your rear wheel came up in the air.
After a big injury going downhill, it's taking a long time to get my confidence back.
Doesn't look steep with the camera.
Yeah, it doesn't, but it is steeper.
The guys stopped to have a few attempts at this little rock face. A year ago, I would love to try this. Now, I just sit there wondering if it's too risky. And of course, I don't try it. And then there's this log. Too much throttle, sure, it might be possible to go over the handlebars. Something I am very keen to avoid after the last time. There's actually very little risk of it happening. But I keep thinking about it, and of course I don't give the bike anywhere near enough throttle, then have to manhandle it over. Sigh. It's an annoying head game. When there is little risk, everything is fine. For example, this climb involves a pile of switchbacks, which can be technically tricky. But if the bike drops, I can always just step off with minimal worry about injury. What about my previous injuries? Well, back in 2001, I smashed the lower leg badly in some muddy ruts. And I was on crutches for quite a few months. But that didn't really affect my riding at all. Although admittedly, I don't like to ride fast in muddy ruts since then. 10 years later, 2011, I broke a pile of bones in my foot trying to ride the DR650 like a dirt bike. Just the standard 6 weeks in a cast, pretty much zero impact on my riding once I was back into things. So, what's different now? Why has my confidence taken such a big hit this time? Is it because a spine fracture can so easily result in paralysis? I must admit, that has crossed my mind a lot.
Come down.
Or is it simply age-related? In your late 50s, you become very conscious of your body not bouncing back from injuries the way it used to. But even more importantly, it seems the brain is much more likely to focus on risk assessment and injuries instead of just the thrills from taking risks.
I would like a wake-up call.
You want Graham Jarvis, old-timer.
I suspect it most likely is this. I have discussed this issue with a few guys who have had major injuries and the resulting head gain. When they were young, they would just laugh off a big injury and be back taking risks again as soon as they could. But once they hit middle age, it was a completely different story. What about you guys? Ever had a big injury? How did it affect your riding, if at all? Did age make a difference in your case? Keen to hear your stories. Let us know in the comments.
Are you hurting your bike? Are you sick of crashing? Then stop fucking around and learn to ride properly, you dirty muppet.
Anyway, enough of that introspective shit. Let's ride. This is a weird obstacle. Not enough speed, your bike slides back too far.
You're gonna do it slowly.
Then you can't get it over.
Thanks, mate.
Thankfully, Ben is spotting and he just pulls the front wheel down so I can slide forward. This guy does it right. Gets the rear wheel back on the ground to get enough drive and launch the bike forward. Fun and games on this climb.
Very candid camera.
Some parts are slippery, some are grippy. It's hard to predict which is which. Digging holes. Once you get to this stage, you really just need to get off the bike and push it up. Stop digging a trench. Benji shows us how it's done. Here he uses the static zap to jump over a tree root. Cue the music please as we watch Burnsy do his thing. Look at the style, the grace, the poise. What a magnificent beast you are, Burnsy. Some of you will remember Burnsy entered bronze class at Romaniacs and did a video series. Well, he's finished his 10-part series and it's well worth watching an everyday rider tackling this grueling international 4-day hard enduro. He is also doing vids about his practice sessions and rides in Australia's National Hard Enduro Series. Get into it. A lot of rain the past few days. The single track has turned to clay, so we are all edging our way down here very carefully. It's quite easy to go into a two-wheel lock-up and have no steering at all. Speaking of rain, it starts up again, so this is the last bit of filming, as Burnsy cautiously rides down a few drop-offs caused by tree roots. A long way to fall if you mess it up. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, I'm keen to hear your experiences with how you managed your comeback after any nasty injuries. Catch you later.